Hi everyone, my name is Julie. This is Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. I talk about books on this channel, mainly books about magic. If you want to see more of that, you can hit the subscribe button down below. And today we are going to be unhauling a few things. So I believe I did a unhaul in January or February, a few months ago, and I have decided to unhaul a few things since then. So I just wanted to kind of talk through these. They have been sitting on my floor over there, waiting for me to do an unhaul so that I can, either donate them or post them on Pango or whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. So the first thing I have here is the one I'm most unsure about, but I think I've decided. It is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. This is books 1 and 2. The Lost Book of the White is book 2. I kept these beyond the rest of my Cassandra Clare unread collection, the ones that I knew I wasn't going to read anymore, because I love Alec and Magnus, and I really thought about, reading this series, continuing on with just these. However, there is no solid plan for when the final book in this series will come out, and since I already have such a tenuous tie to them, I have just decided that I'm not going to pick this series up. I have recently posted my series video about how many series I am in the middle of, and adding this to just sit on my shelf and possibly never get finished just doesn't appeal to me. So we're gonna say that those are unhauls. Next up is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I've heard such mixed things about it that I just don't think it's going to be up my street. The things that I hear about it that are bad, I just think they're going to be bad for me. The mixed things are not things that I can weigh against each other and say, oh, this sounds good and that sounds bad. The only thing that's really still going for this book is that it's a Hades and Persephone retelling, and that's not enough for me to want to read it. So we're going to unhaul this. I also have 2 Christina Lauren books. The first is The Devouring Grey, and the other is The Drowning Summer. Both of these sound appealing. However, based on what I've heard about both of them, they're going to be 3-star reads for me, and I just don't think I'm interested. So I've had this one for a long time, and I picked this one up on sale last summer, and I've just kind of decided, you know what, this YA paranormal vein is just not my speed anymore. I'm going to unhaul my copy of The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow, not because I'm not interested in this book. I still have an interest in reading this. However, this is a book of the month edition, and it literally doesn't fit with anything else on my shelves as far as size and everything else. So I'm just going to unhaul this one, and if I do get around to reading this, I will pick up my own copy. The next one I have is one I'm a little bit torn up about, but I think it's going to be good in the long run. I have the Foxhole Court series by Nora Sakavic. This is I don't even know what age group this is. I would class it as new adult because all of these people are in college, but the themes are very mature. This is the story of a sports team who they have some things going on. And after trying to reread the first book recently, I discovered that I don't think this series is for me. It is all of these things. There's a lot of comps to the Raven Boy series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. It's the sports setting, which appeals to me. It's a lot of things that I would like, but it feels... One of the characters that I think is in the end game couple has done a few things that I just feel are not easily redeemed, and I just don't know how we're gonna come back and redeem this character, and I just don't think this is gonna be for me. It also feels a little bit I don't know if it's a bully romance, but that's the vibe it's giving me, and those are not for me. So I just don't know that this series is for me, and I've had this a long time. Tried to reread this since I hadn't gone back to it, and I ended up DNFing my reread. So I think it's just not for me. I'm on the fence about it, but I feel like it's not for me. Next up, we have A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. I've tried to read this a couple of times and it just doesn't grab my attention. As interesting as it seems with the mermaid story, and as interesting as it I think it just hasn't grabbed my attention the few times I've tried to read it on both audio and physically. So there's just something about the writing style in this one that doesn't appeal to me. And then the last one I have here is The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. This one is going to get unhauled. It was a local book club pick for me, and this was the story of a mayor's wife who she catches her husband cheating, and then she starts a relationship with a much younger man, and the age gap part didn't like necessarily work for me, but also I didn't like any of the characters in this book. Like, the main female character was the only character I liked, and I just have trouble reading books like that. Like, I need a few people in the cast of characters that I can root for, that I can get on their side, and that just wasn't this book. So for me, this was a DNF. I didn't even go to the book club this month when this was the pick, and I think I made it to like 100 pages, and I was just like, you know what? I'm forcing myself to read this, and I don't want to do it anymore. So on to better things. Then, okay, I have one more, but I just really want your opinion on it. So I have had the Cruel Prince series for years now. They have sat on my shelves. I haven't read them. I haven't even read past the first chapter. And they are ones that I have considered unhauling before, but also it's a really popular series, so I have considered giving it a chance. And obviously I picked up the box set, so I thought this was going to be something that appealed to me based on how popular it has been. However, like I said earlier, bully romances do not appeal to me. They're not my thing. They're not my speed. And I am curious if you, like, I have heard this comped as a bully romance for like YA version. If that's true, can you tell me? And can you, like, based on my reading taste, if you know anything about my reading taste, can you tell me if I should keep the Cruel Prince trilogy? Because I'm really considering unhauling it. I think the time for me to read it might be past. I think that maybe it's just not, like I said, my type of book. Is it just time? Is it just me realizing, just like the Cassandra Clare books, that this just isn't for me and I've just missed my chance to read it? I think so. Like, I might set this with the unhauls and see what y'all say, because I just truly don't know. I truly don't know if this is something I'm gonna like or if it's not gonna be it for me at all, and I need some advice. So I'm gonna throw this in there and ask you all for your opinions. I am like on the fence. So, but it is one of the oldest books on my physical TBR that I haven't read, so I feel like that is swaying me towards saying it's not going to be for me and I'm going to unhaul it, but I also have the FOMO a little bit. So if you have any thoughts, please let me know. Most of the rest of these are like solidly gone. Not most. The rest of these are like solidly gone. But this one I'm having trouble making the final call on. But that is it for me today, and like I said, if you have any thoughts or feelings or want to share anything about these books, let me know down below. I'd love to discuss it with you. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.